what a non-negotiable is something that you are not willing to budge on. There's a difference between compromise and sacrificing, and there are certain things, that you'll work with, whether you're single, in a relationship, starting a relationship, newly single, 7 years single, whatever it is. Just know that your relationship status does not define your worth or progress. Single, partnered, married, as I was saying, none of these determine your value. Growth does. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Best Life by Youth, the podcast dedicated to helping you overcome challenges around nutrition, mindset, training, relationships, and, well, all of the above. I'm your host, Julia, and today we are going to be talking about a narrative that not many people talk enough about. And the topic overall, I think, fits in well for the month of February, considering Valentine's Day is approaching. And I know that there are people who have struggled with being single or even struggling being in a relationship, or maybe their partner is not home, or maybe they went through a breakup, or that they just started a relationship. So the topic I'm going to be focusing on right now is something that can be applied with you being single or you being on your own a lot. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that there is a lot of power to being by yourself and being single. So I want to reassure everybody listening, being single is not something you need to fix, rush, or explain away. I want to be sure and clear with this statement that being single is not a waiting room for your life to begin. Being single is a season of clarity. It's where you learn your rhythms, your boundaries, your values without compromise or distraction. It's where you get to hear your own voice more clearly than ever before. When you're single, you're not missing something, you're building something. You're building emotional independence, you're building discernment, you're building a relationship with yourself that no partner can replace. This season teaches you how to choose, not cling, how to want love without needing it to define you, how to enjoy companionship without abandoning yourself. Being single also gives you freedom to explore who you're becoming, to chase your purpose fully, to heal patterns without repeating them in real time with someone else. And here's the truth. The healthiest relationship comes from two whole people, not two people looking to be completed. I'll dive a little bit into my own journey. So I was in a serious relationship. I know I've talked about this before on the podcast. I was in a serious relationship about 3.5 years ago. And this will be like my 4th Valentine's Day single. Yes, without a date, single, all that fun stuff. And there is intention behind that. There is a choice behind it. It's also because I've not met anybody that I want to, per se, invest my time in right now. If I did, I'm sure that would change. However, this season for me is an opportunity for me to evaluate really who I am, what I'm looking for, what my passions are, and what my non-negotiables are. So for me personally, I encourage my clients, I encourage my friends, I encourage people I talk to about relationships to have your non-negotiables. And what a non-negotiable is something that you are not willing to budge on. There's a difference between compromise and sacrificing, and there are certain things, that you'll work with. But for me, my number one is having a man who is very committed to his faith. Not somebody who's religious and just shows up and goes to church, but somebody who is very committed to helping other people and living out their faith in a very positive way. That for me is very important in what I look for. And of course, someone who's kind is another non-negotiable. It's kindness is how they treat others, how they treat their family, how they treat their friends, and how they talk to themselves and treat themselves. I mean, there's little things in between of like what I would like in a partner. However, it is not end all be all. And another non-negotiable for me is somebody who's invested in their health journey. When I say invest in their health journey, they are caring of what they're putting into their bodies, and they have a healthy workout routine, and they're into moving their bodies. And that is something that is a non-negotiable for me, because if we're looking to build a life together, that is the lifestyle I want to raise a family with. And then other things like they want to be married and have kids and also driven. The other things that like I've noticed even for myself that I'm willing to like negotiate on. For me, I'm plant-based, have been plant-based for 6 years. And I've gone back and forth of like, I only want to be with somebody who's plant-based or is plant forward. And now I think I've learned more and more about, when I love you, like love my family, I will do anything to support them. For me, the plant-based bit is a huge part of my health and who I am. And again, I haven't been in a relationship where I needed to compromise that, but that is something I feel like after conversations and respect, like as someone who I would want somebody who really respects that and is open to eating that kind of lifestyle throughout the week and so forth. So there's again quite a few things like I've realized about myself, and I'm sharing this with you because if you are single or you're in a relationship, maybe you're listening to this and you're in a great relationship and you're like, honestly, I just want to listen to this podcast, then by all means, just listen in, just have some fun. There will be some nuggets at the end you take away, some vegan nuggets you take away at the end. But my point is, if you're in this season where maybe you feel like you're losing yourself, or you feel tired of being alone or tired of doing things alone, there is a beauty to it, right? It's something you don't have to feel like you need to be in a relationship to be successful. And I'll be honest, a lot of my mentors and people that I look up to are in very healthy relationships. So it was hard for me, and it is hard for me because I have not found somebody that I can look up to that is single and thriving. So it is challenging for me to relate to those very successful people that I look up to because I do not have that partner. Now, here's to say it's also a blessing because I've gotten to spend so much time with me, figuring out my own routine and realizing what's important in my life. And the things that I really liked 5 years ago, I don't necessarily like anymore. So I want you to know that if you're single right now, let it be sacred. Let it be expansive. Let it be a time where you fall deeply in love with your own life. So being single doesn't mean you're alone. And that's something else I had to learn. It might feel lonely at times, like Saturday night sitting at the couch, like New Year's Eve. I sat at home. I stopped by my friend's party at 10 o'clock. I was chilling at home, visited my family, and then I came home and I was like, oh, okay, this is like, it was nice to be with people I love. Again, the party, family. And then midnight, I was in bed and being like, okay, this is fine. Like, we can do this. Like, it's a first time, that I wasn't out at a bar with friends at midnight. But at least I got to see friends and family to finish off 2025. And for me, I wasn't sad. I wasn't feeling anything. It was more like I was at peace. I'm like, okay, this is fine because I have in my heart that one day I will be in a relationship, but I've also learned to really love my single life. So just know that being single again does not mean you're alone. It means actually you're available. So available for growth, available for the right alignment, and available to the version of love that meets you where you are, not where you are trying to be or trying to rush to. And that's powerful. So as you continue on with your journey, if there's people that are listening who really, really are like, I can't really relate to this, I'll give away 3 bits that you can take away, whether you're single, in a relationship, starting a relationship, newly single, 7 years single, whatever it is. Just know that your relationship, my first one, your relationship status does not define your worth or progress. Single, partnered, married, as I was saying, none of these determine your value. Growth does. The second point, nourish the relationships you have right now. Love shows up in many forms. The way you invest in friendships, family, and community matters, and it shapes how you love romantically too. So I am blessed to have beautiful girlfriends. I have a girlfriend who will show up to my place with flowers and love and open ears and let me cry if I'm having a bad day. And I'm blessed to have quite a few girlfriends who are like that. The third one, I was going to say wholesome comes before partnership. The strongest relationships are built when you know yourself, honor your boundaries, and choose connection from abundance, not lack. Again, I said this earlier, if you are single, it is not something to rush through. It's something to honor. Because the more whole you are, the healthier every relationship in your life becomes. That applies to every single person listening. The healthier you are, the healthier your relationships are as well. So thank you for listening to my little tangent on my, I guess power of being single episode. That's what I'll call it. So if you found this episode helpful, feel free to share with somebody, or if you think somebody can benefit from this, feel free to share it with them. But team, let's go ahead and keep living our best life, and I'll see you next week. Take care. I hope you all enjoyed today's episode. If you would like to continue to get these episodes first thing, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel on YouTube and on Spotify under Best Life by You. If you're interested in working together, y'all can go ahead and visit bestlifebyyou.com/work with me, or go ahead and follow me on Instagram at NutriFitJulia. Send me a DM or just follow for more information, fun tips, and just a lot of humor. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Let's continue to live the best life by you.